Hi folks, my name is Jimbo Snyder and welcome to my home and welcome to my kitchen. This is Jimbo's Kitchen Know-How. I hope it's a series of these videos and maybe we can teach you certain things. This is more for people who haven't been a cook for very long, just starting out, maybe some of you kids going off to college, just getting out of college, and maybe this will help give you a leg up on maybe some shortcuts, some little know-how stuff. So we'll see how it goes. Today I want to talk about sauces and gravies. I did a video on white chicken milk gravy that you make out of the leftover grease from the fried chicken. Sort of gives you a background on how you do it the slow way. Well, today I want to teach you some shortcuts on certain gravies. I have to shop at Walmart. And one of the reasons is we only have two other grocery stores in this town where I live. We have a rather small town. It has its benefits. Especially when you get to be my age, you're not too concerned about going out and doing certain things in certain bars and restaurants. That's a good thing. We don't have very many things around here. I think we've got about 3 restaurants worth going to, and now Walmart, they used to have blue laws here. Only a couple of years ago they got rid of them. You could buy food up until, I believe it was 1 o'clock, but they closed off the rest of the store in Walmart because you couldn't buy any other item. You know, you couldn't buy clothes, you couldn't buy this, you couldn't buy that. But they allowed you to buy drugs and food. That was about it. So anyway, that's growing up in the South. For what it's worth, they did finally look at that and they got rid of them. But back to the subject matter here, sauces and gravies. They have certain mixes. Now, the reason I like shopping at Walmart is they have a product, their in-house products called Great Value. And actually, I have not found anything that I dislike about Great Value. I just haven't found a bad product. So a lot of these sauces that I get there are Great Value products. I don't know where you live. I don't know what the size of your town is. Sometimes going to Walmart is like going to the dentist. It's just people are bumper to bumper, and it's just a madhouse trying to check out and all this kind of stuff. I'm very fortunate being in a small town. So anyway, it doesn't have, even in your own local grocery store, they have these products. McCormick puts them out, and I've got one here to show you. And also a product called Knorr, K-N-O-R-R. I'll show you that too. Let's start off with brown gravy mix. This is what it calls for. That's what it looks like. It's Great Value. Now, all you have to do is add water. Now, I do something a little bit different, and I forgot to get it out. So I wanted to show you about this. This is Jimbo's Trio. You're going to see it in a lot of my recipes, especially when you're making spaghetti sauce, chili, any kind of thing like that, vegetable soup. And it adds just a zip to something that you'd miss it if it wasn't there, but you don't know what it is when you put it in there. The Trio these are all Great Value products. This is 57 sauce. It's Great Value. It doesn't say 57 obviously, but you could tell by looking at it that's what it is. Also A1 sauce, and this is in Great Value, but it's in a same container looking thing like A1. And then I have Worcestershire sauce. It's also Great Value. And the reason I buy these is the taste the same. I say the quality is the same. and they're cheaper, a lot cheaper. So anytime you get away from name brand things, the better off you are. But you got to be careful. A lot of them just aren't worth buying. So, but experiment. Buy some. Don't like them? Don't buy them anymore. The way I use this trio when I'm making a product, and particularly now we're talking about brown gravy mix, I will put this in the brown gravy mix. And I would start with a tablespoon of each. Now, I kind of free pour, but I've been doing it a long time. But just to start with that and see how you like it. If you think it needs more, do more. But don't give more Worcestershire sauce more flavor than to the A1. Try and keep them all equal. You'll find out they blend well together. I found this by accident. I was eating a steak, and I wanted try something different. And I combined A1 and 57 and used it as a dip, and it tasted pretty good. I was kind of amazed, so I started using that in some of my cooking recipes. Now about this brown gravy mix, I don't just the recipe calls for a cup of water, and you just bring the heat up on it until it gels to the consistency you want. But what I do is I'll take diced onions and a little bit of olive oil, and I will brown the onions translucent, maybe a little brown, and then I add the water, and before the water gets hot, I'll add the gravy mix and use a wire whip until it gels, and then I can add the trio and wire whip that in. There you go, you got your gravy. I make a country fried steak. I use it with that. If anytime you have like meatloaf or roast beef, or we don't eat starches. We don't eat potatoes or rice on a normal basis. We usually just have a meat and a vegetable. I have a tendency to put weight on. Always have. I was born fat, and I have to keep it off. And the way I do it is to go low carbohydrates. So that's why we don't eat starches. But anyway, if you do, then this is a good thing to have. If you keep it in the refrigerator, you can bring it out, add to it, whatever. So that's your brown gravy mix. They also have an au jus. That's this au jus I use when I cook. We call it prime rib, but it's not really prime rib. As a retail, it's very difficult for you to buy a true prime rib. Now I'll explain that to you later on in another video about meats and stuff. But this is a great product to have if you just want a sort of a broth. And if you ever cook a roast and you want to put an au jus on it, then you can with this. And then if you're not using it, turn it into a gravy by adding flour to the mixture when it's cold, and then bring it up. That'll help thicken it into a gravy. They also have a pork gravy. We have roast pork, roast, it'd be good for that. Now this one, I use this one, this is a really good sauce to have. This is called Béarnaise sauce. Béarnaise is hollandaise sauce with tarragon vinegar added to it. I don't like hollandaise sauce because it really, to me, it doesn't have any flavor. I always like something with a little bit of zip to it. And you would take this Béarnaise sauce and you just add milk and butter to it. And if you'll notice, the name on the package is Knorr, K-N-O-R-R. This was a German chef in 1838, became famous for his sauces. And I believe I don't know if he dehydrated them in the 1830s, but Unilever, over the years since he passed away, his product was bought out, and over the years it's still produced, and I think Unilever now owns it. But Anyway, if you can ever find this in the store, Knorr, that's premium. It's really good stuff. It's better than McCormick, better than Great Value. It's the one to find. A lot of times, now they've come out with something like they'll have rice and a sauce with it. And, I guess it's pre-made meals and stuff like that. But anyway, this Béarnaise sauce, I put it on asparagus and broccoli. This is part of the thing on vegetables and stuff like that. And I think if you try this, get you some Béarnaise sauce, cook your steak, doesn't matter what kind of steak you have, and put some of this on it. Now you're going to be surprised at how well that makes the steak taste. So, for what it's worth. Now I'm also going to get into spices. I'm going to have a list of spices on my web page. Not web page, my Facebook page. And it's just going to have basic sauces that you probably will use. Now, when you start cooking, you're going to have all different kinds of spices that are in the recipe. Use some common sense when you're doing that. A lot of times, I don't think you have to follow a recipe exactly. Now, every recipe has a base. It's like, for example, you wouldn't want to buy a pizza sauce and make spaghetti out of it. You probably want some hamburger meat and butter. But you can actually take that and add some spices to it and stuff. But basically, use your head. But if somebody comes in and says, put chervil in it, what's chervil? Well, don't go out and buy a bottle of chervil and use it one time. So, I can show you right now, I got spices that I have not used in 10 years. So, just a little warning there. Now, one thing I do use every day, it's pink salt, Himalayan salt. This is Great Value. I think it's cheaper than some that are out there. It's more expensive than regular table salt, but I think it has a little bit of flavor, a little bit more flavor. I use it in all my salt products now. I don't even use table salt anymore. And now I keep all the time right out on my counter. I use a combination of salt and pepper. And this is an old spice jar, and I put in, hold it up to the light because it's got, I use it so much that you can hardly see through it. But I'll put the pepper up to about halfway and the salt up about halfway. So if you don't want as much salt, don't put as much salt in there. But I use this every single day, so that's why I keep it on the counter. So that's about all I've got to say about the sauces and the peppers and stuff like that. Oh, by the way, one other thing. On Béarnaise sauce, if you make an eggs Benedict, they put hollandaise sauce on it. I put Béarnaise sauce on it. And if you've ever had an eggs Benedict in a restaurant, that is probably the easiest thing that you can fix at home. All it is English muffin on the bottom, one part, and the top part. They usually make two. And then it's Canadian bacon. That's the round bacon like this that you fry. And then you put poached egg on top of that. And I can show you how to poach an egg. Just put it in water, boiling water. Take a slotted spoon, take it out, put it on a plate. And then top it with Béarnaise sauce. That's all there is to it. So, maybe we'll get into that sometime. But anyway, I hope that gave you some ideas about your sauces and stuff like that. And just check out my Facebook page and you can see all the list of spices that maybe you should keep in your cabinet. That's it. Glad you could come with me today. Come back to see me, and for God's sakes, be safe out there.